This one.
Incoming transmission from an unknown source. It seems to be urgent. Patching them through. They're calling themselves the HoloNet Marauders.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the HoloNet Marauders podcast. I'm AJ, and I am joined here.
You sound a little
Let's get
tinny
this business
there.
out of here. Bear with me.
Get that Mandalorian business out of here. Although we got a lot to talk about today.
We do. I'm joined here with just Jamie today.
Hello.
Bombad Jamie. And
that's me.
Yeah. Episode 49.
Woo!
1 away from 50, and we get some big plans for 50, sort of. It'll be fun.
That'd be great.
Highlight episode. It'll be our 1-year anniversary on our 50th episode day release.
Yeah.
So that'll be very exciting. We didn't really plan it out that way a while ago. It just kind of happened, and recently we're like, yeah.
Episode 49 almost didn't happen, and we were just gonna push everything to be 49 and be funny about it. But the Book of Boba Fett trailer came out.
It did
pretty much right before we recorded this episode. So we're like, you know what? Episode 49 needs to happen now, just so we can talk about that.
It's funny because the gods didn't want this episode to happen.
No. Oh my gosh.
We had a huge nor'easter last week, knocked out the Wi-Fi. For some reason, our modem didn't work. I had to go deal with that, but we're back up and running, knock on wood. And
we have had every internet trouble in the book, gone. Yep. And for those who don't know, a nor'easter is just it's a wicked big storm. That's all it is. In the summer, the fall, in the winter, it's a wicked big storm.
The winds blow northeast.
Yeah.
That's all a nor'easter means.
Nor'easter.
Anyways, the gods didn't want this episode to happen. We barely knew what we were going to talk about. We were just going to do something random. And then the Book of Boba Fett trailer drops out of thin air. And the night before it dropped, there was a lot of hubbub going around that the trailer was going to drop at 10 a.m. on Monday.
Yep.
And
they always drop things at 10 a.m. Pro tip, guys, if you see people talking about things are going to be released, Star Wars official accounts always post things at 10 a.m. They always do. I
was super excited it actually dropped because you see things like this happen. Like, oh, I think we're going to get it this week. I think we're going to get this week. We're going to get this announcement. And we actually got it. We actually got it. The first piece of Star Wars, not content, because we had visions, but we had a trailer, a Star Wars trailer. We haven't had one of those in ages. I know we had one for Visions, Bad Batch, but it's been ages. A live action Star Wars trailer.
Live action.
Over a year ago with Mando season 2, I believe. So
it's been a while. Yeah, they did the mid-season trailers and whatnot as well. But it's also a 1-year anniversary of Mandalorian season 2. By the way, we gotta praise our man Cobb Vanth. It is our 1-year anniversary of loving Cobb Vanth, corn on the Cobb man. Love.
So, yeah, I have for our visual people, I have the trailer here.
Okay.
Ready to watch with no noise.
No noise.
We don't want to get in trouble.
Right.
Just so we know what we're talking about here. So let's give this a watch.
In the first shot of this trailer, obviously we have sweeping Tatooine here, and I love that it's the Bomar monks. We talked about that a couple weeks ago, right?
Oh shoot!
Get that out of there. A couple weeks ago we were talking about the Bomar monks. And Matt's talking about all the Jabba's palace things, and I just thought this was so funny immediately, that very first shot. And I'm quite positive people are going to start crying about spiders again. But these things have been around since Return of the Jedi. They exist. They've been around since that.
I thought it looked weird in the trailer, but I found out it was made with stop motion.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if that's not official. Don't take my word for it, but I saw some reputable people on Twitter talking about it. So
that's so interesting because so much of the Mandalorian has been just digitally created, and they haven't done as much practically, but they have done a lot. So also that pit droid handing Boba the helmet.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
I love that. Where little guy. It must be.
Looked like it was a hotel.
Yeah, they look like a
see
weird,
the window?
Like a hotel or medical bay, possibly looking like a medical capsule. Oh, Fennec. Every time we see Fennec, my heart just stops. Also, that Ithorian.
And that city.
Yeah, go back to the city. So
apologies to our audio friends. We're going through the trailer right now, so if it's a bit confusing, we're going through it and
just
talking about
rewatch
the
it again.
clips.
So we have like the Ithorian, who I don't want to say looks like Talkandar, but maybe it is. That'd be pretty funny, right?
That would be
No, it
cool.
won't be. The Twi'lek with him looks like the concept art for Galactic Star Cruiser. If you like go back to
Yeah.
that with the Ithorian there, AJ.
I was already onto this city. I don't...
Onto that, but yeah, like really quickly. I mean, the Twi'leks in the shows, they really haven't done that well, but whatever. In this city, like, what a city do you think this is, AJ?
I don't know. It has to be on Tatooine, right? I think the show
I hope so.
will not just take place on Tatooine. The most of it will, but I'm assuming he'll maybe go to other hut space and whatnot and deal with gangsters and other places.
So like I like jokingly said earlier, I'm like, oh, it kind of looks like Jeddah, but like, wait a second. Jeddah City was like on top of a mountain, but the Death Star straight up decimates it. This isn't a crater.
I don't think so, unless they built really fast. Like, how long has it been since Jeddah blew up? I guess it's been quite some time. What's been? This takes place. We think this takes place. This like, scene. This could be a flashback, probably no, but this scene. The show probably takes place right after Mando season 2.
Yeah.
So we're still
we know that based on like costume rules alone, because Boba is in the repainted armor, which is already a little scuffed up, but it's good.
Right. I mean, yeah, he's in combat, so any scratch he takes or you know, whatever, it's gonna scratch that thing up.
I think it could be Jeddah City, but like in a crater. No, but like that'd be like insane, right?
It's not Jeddah City. I mean, I don't know that, but I highly doubt it. Unless they built really fast, but who knows? I think it's somewhere on Tatooine that we just haven't seen, because Tatooine's a big planet.
It's another
obviously.
Moss.
Yeah.
Moss City.
I'm sure in Legends and whatnot, there was plenty of, if Matt was here, he'd probably fill us in or whatever, but there's probably plenty other cities and whatnot.
Watch this be like an actually like really known location. We're just like, oh, it's something else.
What was the city in the Devil on Pop comic with Boba?
Ooh.
They go to a city and I was like, oh, is it Mos Pelgo? But it wasn't. It kind of looked crappy though, so I don't think it's this. This looks like it's like the mecca of Tatooine.
Yeah.
This looks really nice, which is cool.
Which is exactly what Jeddah City was, is Force Mecca. But anyway.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. To bring it full
circle there. The throne. Ooh.
There's the throne.
Okay, so I love how this trailer is Boba narrating the entire time. And it's more of him explaining like how he's gonna like go about his business here.
Who's this dude?
That guy and the other guy they just showed have similar outfits, so they must be some other crime syndicate, I would assume.
You know what? It looks very Prince of Shizor, like looking shoulder pads and whatnot.
What was the name of their organization again?
Black Sun.
Black Sun.
So yeah, I mean, Black Sun is still a thing. In this.
But. Whoo! Boba's eyebrows. I'm so happy his eyebrows are back.
Like, somehow his eyebrows have returned.
FedEx massive side eye looking at him as well. Like I've loved them as a duo, and I can't wait to like actually see them more. This is literally just Boba and Fennec like buddy cop series. That's what this is.
Yeah.
I'm living for it.
And hopefully, I love Mandalorian and I love Bad Batch, but hopefully, you know, it's not a show with a father figure and a child.
There's no, I mean,
done
like
that trope a few times. It might happen again. Who knows?
Based on this trailer, though, it's Boba like, oh my god, this shot of like the balcony. Like I can't, like it's
that
so
felt
good.
Very like the shot of the balcony felt very like Game of Thrones-esque. It doesn't even look Star Warsy.
Like looking over like the kingdom.
I don't know what that means, but
I don't know, but it's just very like
that looks like something out of Game of Thrones.
It does. Cool. It really does. It's the vibe seems to be like they're just cleaning up the town essentially, and so like I doubt there'd be any sort of like found family type thing in there. Bring it back, AJ, actually again to the Tusken Raiders. Sorry, because I was talking over it as it happened, but there's the one shot of the Tusken Raiders in the sand, and so and like I'd hope that they actually put in
Tusken Raiders in sand,
where they are. But no, I hope that they actually showed like
I don't care
how Boba made it out of the Sarlacc pit and how he like grew from there, because I feel like the Tuskens like literally saved him and like maybe. And,
no, I don't think so.
I don't know. I think that that's what happened, but we'll see. And like, we'll see what happens.
It's possible. Because I mean, he is, you know, there's Nomad Boba. So maybe the Tusken saved him, gave him the robe. I don't know. Well, he did have a gaffy stick.
He had the gaffy stick. And like, I'd like to think that he earned it somehow. So,
and maybe we've seen in other movies where, people are stranded in the desert, and even Cobb Vanth, we've seen different things where, how would you describe the Tusken Raiders? They're misunderstood maybe a little bit. Cobb Vanth comes around on them, and Mando's like, "Oh, these are people. Like, let's not,
yeah, I think that a big thing of with the Tusken Raiders is the Mandalorian especially has made big strides at making the Tusken Raiders actually a near human species, not just a bunch of monsters in the sand.
Yeah, we've always seen
Um,
them as monsters in the sand. I mean, even
because
Obi-Wan is like,
they
you
always
know,
have in Star Wars been a near human species.
yeah.
And so like getting to see that like they actually have like what their culture is and like how they communicate with each other and like what their like actual like practices are and like working with them. I think that that's been like really cool. And like Mando season 2, the episode with Cobb Vanth, especially, that was like a really, really big stride like in like that direction of hey, these are people, not just these are people and not just monsters. And I think that that would be like a really big piece of Boba as well, is like these monsters saved him, and so he like kind of like has to like work with them and finding out more of just broadening his worldview. Because I do find it interesting in the trailer, if you want to continue, Boba says I'm not a bounty hunter, and it's like,
Well, yeah, no, that's what I was
what
going to
does
get
this
to.
mean?
That was my point. He maybe, if the Tusken Raiders helped him out or something, he sees the world differently a little bit, or maybe
Yeah,
he's getting a second chance at life or something because he
it should
survived the
have died in
Sarlacc.
that Sarlacc pit.
They
Yeah.
saved him or something possibly, and this is like good Boba now. We were shocked to see him in Mando be kind of a better dude because he was always out for himself. As far as we know, he was a bounty hunter, which is that's the
Hmm.
job. You're working for yourself, killing people and assassinating people and whatnot. So he seemed like a different guy in Mandalorian season 2. But then we see him kill Bib Fortuna, and we're like, oh, he sits on the throne. That's a power
Yeah,
move. Maybe he's not what we thought. Maybe it was just odd he helped Din Djarin save Grogu. That
I
didn't
think
seem
it's
like a
a
very
bit of
Boba
both.
thing to do. But now
He
he seems, in the trailer here, we see that he is much more full of respect and whatnot. He's Jabba ruled with fear, is what they say in the trailer. What he says in the trailer, I'm going to rule with respect. So
yeah,
that's already, maybe that is what you would guess from Boba Fett, maybe not. And at the end, he's like, "Oh, speak freely." Even Fennec is like, "Yo, you don't say that to the guy sitting on the throne. Like, you watch your back, buddy." And then Boba's like, "No, no, no. Like, let them speak freely." So it's like it seems like it is good guy Boba, and
I
I'm
think
happy
the
about
thing
that.
as well to keep in mind is even though he does like say like speak freely, his finger's still on the trigger. He will
Right? He's
not
not because he's
hestate.
not an idiot. I mean, everyone's a sleemo on
Exactly.
Tatooine, so he's like, "Yo,
Right.
speak freely," but I got my eye on you because
Yeah.
he's smart.
Yeah.
Like Tobias Beckett said back in Solo, like, don't trust
Don't
anyone.
trust anyone. Yeah.
So
Oof.
let's continue the
So I
trailer
love this
here.
back to the trailer. I love this round table of the aliens. Like we have everything from like I'm not gonna break it down because I already forget. But Boba and Fennec like drinking like the wine.
The coins going out of Boba's helmet.
Oh,
Interesting.
the best shot of the trailer, Boba knocking out this guy. Ah! It's
Yeah,
so good. Fight
uh,
scenes.
very similar to what we see him fighting on Tython. Obviously, it would be
Yeah,
similar. That's his fighting style.
right.
Very, very savage, beating the back
Very
out of everyone. I love
the
it.
Robert Rodriguez framing, just like, oh, there he is.
Yeah,
He's ready.
exactly.
He's
It's
ready.
it's that feel, obviously. Here's
I
Fennec, saying, watch, don't say that to Boba.
I love Fennec's like sass in this. Like it's just so good. Like so
Did he
good.
have his finger on the trigger?
I would assume that he like okay,
Oh,
it's
come now
more
we're
of like
assuming. I don't
more of
know.
like okay, listen, it's more of like a metaphorical thing.
I
Um
guess. I
I
took it
don't
as he's saying speak freely,
I don't
but
think it's good guy Boba like straight up.
well,
Like I
not
think
good
that
guy.
it is that he literally will like say that, but he'll also
Fair guy
yeah.
Boba.
Like
Fair is good.
you can't see if he's holding his gun, but he probably like is ready and like has like a phrase like ready to go. That's just like Fennec, melee run, like they're ready to go. The last thing about that trailer at the very end, there's like the sound of this of the ship just like that's my favorite part. That was a
That's your
great
favorite
impression of
part.
it, wasn't it? I I mean, my favorite part is like the shot of like Boba fighting, I guess.
I mean, I don't know. My favorite part is the trailer. I don't know. Just we got the trailer and some footage of it. I texted with Matt, so he can't be here today.
Yep.
So his thoughts were, let me pull it up. I'll grab it on my phone. I'll look. I don't want to put words in his mouth. So Matt said, I don't know. The whole trailer is just Boba talking to gangsters.
I thought that was great.
So, I mean, I don't know what more. You can't show too much. A lot of people think that this is probably just footage from like 2 episodes. Maybe this is all the footage from like the premiere.
It could
It's
just
not,
be all episode 1.
it's not much because the Mando stuff did that too, where it just showed like footage from the first few episodes, which is great. It keeps us in guessing, and I like that. It gives us just what we need: a tease, a taste of Boba Fett, Book of Boba Fett, and that's all we need.
Chapter 1.
And then Matt also said, "quote unquote," union disputes. You don't want to know.
It's like definitely gonna be like what's going on with around that round table. All those guys are just like, hey, so Jabba provided XYZ for us. What are you gonna do? And Boba's probably gonna be like, I didn't know I had to do all of this.
I hope this won't happen. There's no way this will happen, but I really hope we get at least a Maz mentioning, because she's part of like that underworld in a way.
She knows.
She has
she knows.
Yeah. I don't think we'll go to Takodana and see Maz, but
I
maybe she'll
love
be on a hologram or something. That'd be cool.
More another union dispute. I love how everything is being branded as this is the underworld, and like that's literally like how they're like presenting it, and like all of the social media and like the captions, they're like, oh, underworld. So, like it's just like, okay, this is really cool that they're going like,
yeah, I mean,
pedal to the metal. This is what this show is going to be about. Just in case you didn't know.
George attempted to make that underworld series like years ago. I forget when that was. It might have been like late 2000, like 2009, 2010. I'm probably wrong, but it was, there's footage of it and it looks
around
hilarious.
that time. Oh yeah,
I think
looks
it was
like
on Coruscant or Nar Shaddaa, but
little wonky, very neon, and it just didn't like feel right in like the time, but like it looks really, really cool. And so like I can't wait for these ideas, and I'm glad that they're like pretty much testing the water with like Tatooine, and then maybe this eventually will open the door if they want to like go to like Nar Shaddaa. Like that would be,
yeah, I mean, like I said earlier,
really cool.
if Boba wants to check out the rest of Hutt space, because we know Jabba died, we don't know what the other Hutts are doing, but they're probably in disarray after the Empire falls, and Nar Shaddaa could be wide open. So
Jabba is like one of like the last like big names for like the Hutts, though, like at least based on now the whole War of the Bounty Hunters like comic run is Jabba's running that show. So
yeah, a lot of them got wiped out, right? So well, there is in Aftermath, we know that there's a Hutt being raised possibly in Mos Pelgo. We don't know if that's still a thing, the baby Hutt. But even if there were some Hutts around or something, I don't know, maybe they wouldn't be around, because I don't think they'd be okay with Bib Fortuna just going and taking Jabba's palace and being there for a few years. So who knows? I want to see Nar Shaddaa in live action, or in animation or live action, any action.
Action. The livest of actions.
This would be the show to do it.
Yeah.
And I want to see Devil Lumpop. I don't think she's still around at this point for some reason.
Why?
Because in War of the Bounty Hunters, for people that haven't read it, she's super old. She's been around since the High Republic. So she's another person that's just ancient. And we didn't see too much of her. I think there's another comic coming out with her. But of course, because how can you just do one thing with that? But it seemed to me, my theory that was she had some sort of like curse or something, and maybe that's why she could be still alive. And that might be crazy, but it kind of like hinted at that in a way when she was talking to Jabba, sorry.
Yeah, she had some sort of like loose life debt type situation going on with him, but it like wasn't. I don't know.
Yeah, very interesting. So if she's
would love to see her though.
It seemed like she didn't want to be alive still. Like she's just been so old and seen so much. That was my take on it, and it reminded me a lot of the Grand Inquisitor, where he's cursed in that temple and he fights Luke, and he like haunts that temple, and whoever enters, and Vader's like says to him like, no, you're still gonna do this, buddy. He's like, there's things worse than death, and he's like, I just want to be free of this pain.
Yeah.
So to quote Kylo Ren,
just mix up those quotes there, shall you?
Well, that's like that's the vibe.
He's just like, can I please just die? And Vader's like, no, you can't.
So I don't think Depa is still alive. At this point in the game, I want her to be, but I don't know. I'd love to see Cad Bane show up. I don't know if he's still alive either.
Yeah, I feel like maybe
Boss.
I don't think he would.
Any
Boss?
of the old gang. I want to see turn up. I don't know.
I think
IG-88.
I think there's potential for any of the lineup bounty hunters from like Empire to show up, because like I feel like there's still potential for that, even if it's any of those guys or any of the guys that appeared in War of the Bounty Hunters who didn't absolutely like die. Heck, maybe even Prince Caesar.
Yeah, I would like to see
I think
Caesar show up because I don't know.
additionally,
Black
I
Sun,
would
criminal boss. Have
love
him.
for Kira to show up, since they casually have like
I don't
ushered
think
her back
she is.
in.
I don't
I
think
don't think
she
that
is
she
still
will.
alive, but maybe a flashback or a mentioning.
Yeah, flashback or something with Crimson Dawn somehow mentioned, just to like plant that seed in there. I think that'd be really cool. I think that'd be really fun tie-in.
Yeah, and we know
Connect it.
I don't think Crimson Dawn is still going at this point the way.
Well, hey, we didn't think Crimson Dawn was still going until the whole War of the Bounty
Nobody
Hunters
did.
line. So, like, I think that it goes without saying. I think anything could happen. And
Knights of
the
Ren.
fact that they're
But probably
the fact
not.
that they're
No,
opening
that's
the
a pipe
door.
dream.
You never know, because there's like always like tweets that come out that are just like, oh, it's gonna connect the sequel trilogy. Obviously, it's going to connect
Mando
the
will.
sequel trilogy. It's the in
I don't
between.
think.
But
I don't
this
think
is the
Boba
time
Fett
period
will.
after. So like even if it's something background like the Knights of Ren, that would be fantastic. Any
Yeah.
sort of underworld stuff is something with Maz. Sidon Ithano, like any of those like small little things, like it could like just connect just enough.
Sidon would be perfect. I mean, yeah, that to bridge it to the sequels in that little way, like little breadcrumb connection.
Yeah,
That would be nice.
it
That's
doesn't
how
have
Star
to
Wars
be
does
the
it. So.
entire plot. It doesn't have to be the entire plot. I don't mind. Just like tie a little bit of
Oh, of
side
course
characters
not.
in there and send it off and make a little podcast like us happy that the Crimson Corsair just maybe might appear. We have no idea if he actually is. I'm just really, really excited and want him to. This is just me voicing that.
I saw our good friend Greg, Go Getter Greg from Rex Around Show. I saw him tweet last night. He must have been watching the Halloween thing the other day, and he was tweeting. It's funny how the Knights of Ren have more lore in the Halloween Lego special than they do in the sequels. And I'm like, yeah, it's a great point. So I mean, but we're starting to get so much more now in comic and in book form. I would like to see that in on-screen form, because people love the Knights of Ren. They're so cool.
And more people should love the Knights of Ren. A lot of people don't necessarily even like appreciate them because they just stand there menacingly.
Well, I don't even know if J.J. Abrams appreciated them. I mean, he created them, and I love Ryan, but I don't know. I mean, we love the sequels, but
yeah,
I guess I took a little jab there, a fair.
And we know that I love two boy bands, the Bad Batch and the Knights of Ren. So like, yeah, that's my life.
But that brings us to we were quickly gonna just talk about. We've had this trailer now for Book of Boba Fett. Mm-hmm. Disney Plus Day is coming up. And what are we going to get on Disney Plus Day? I don't know. I like that they did this now. So Disney Plus Day can focus on Andor, Kenobi, Ahsoka.
Yeah.
At least Andor and Kenobi. We know those are filmed and we know they're pretty much done. Bad Batch Season 2. I think Bad Batch Season 2 is done. Dunzo. It's all done.
Yeah, they're doing voice acting. I think the last I saw they're recording for that. But music, so music and lines they're doing and any sort of finishing that up. So I think that I agree. I'm glad that they released the Book of Boba Fett trailer now, since that actually comes out this year, even though it is December 29th and it's pretty much next year. I'm glad that they released that trailer to be like, hey, we don't want to overshadow anything else that we're going to release. So let's just like release it now. And then
did somebody say shadow?
You keep showing the Prince Caesar figure.
Hey, he's going to show up.
Is he? Okay.
No, he might.
Sure. But yeah, I think that I agree. Kenobi and Andor, I think we have the biggest chances of probably getting release dates and early looks at trailers. Not a full trailer, but at least like early like preview type things, or maybe official like things like that. But I think we'll definitely get those. Same thing with Bad Batch Season 2. And then anything else, I'm hoping for casting announcements for things. And that's probably the most that we're going to get. But trailer-wise, I think the most we're going to get is Andor and Kenobi. And maybe Bad Batch.
I think we get all three. I think we get a Bad Batch trailer. I would bet on that. If I had to bet, I'd bet on that. I'm betting calamari flan here, not actual money.
What's the conversion rate on that?
I don't know. I gotta look that up. So, Bad Batch trailer, put me down for that.
Okay.
Kenobi trailer.
I agree.
And Andor. I'm down for all. I'm betting all three
I think
because
that, yeah.
they'd be crazy to not do a Kenobi trailer. People are dying for it. It'll be massive. And same with Andor. I know Kenobi's higher on the radar for people, but they've been done filming. I don't know. You can just show like 30 seconds of just like Obi-Wan in his hut, and people will be like giving a standing ovation for weeks.
Only if it has in the background the picture of Obi-Wan and Cody like doing like the hug in like the bar, like that's in the Lego trailer. Remember that?
And even
It's
yeah,
like, this is
that was
fantastic.
amazing. Even like a release dates. If there's no trailer,
Yeah.
give us release dates because I
Right.
love Marvel. I love Star Wars eons more, but I love Marvel. It's a fun time. Marvel knows how to do it. Marvel knows how to market. And they're both owned by Disney, so I don't know why Lucasfilm can't just be like, "Hey,
Star Wars just drops things at 10 a.m. on Monday mornings usually.
It's craziness. It's a tough life. It's a tough life to follow that. But
It's a tough life being a Star Wars fan.
When Force Awakens was coming out, they gave us the map, that Marvel type timeline map of when stuff was coming out. Episodes 7, 8, 9. Rogue One was in there, and I think Solo was in there. Or I don't know if they were unnamed at the time or what, but they gave us that.
They do vaguely do this, and they say, "Oh, it's coming out this year. It is coming out this year." I think that with the past year and a half, almost 2 years, we've obviously had a lot of issues worldwide that are more important to deal with than show releases, and so things have been pushed back, and we just need to keep that in mind. Everything's going to change because you never know what's actually going to happen in the real world,
and they don't want to promise dates if they can't meet it. So they want to know for sure.
I think at this point, it's safe to say Bad Batch, Kenobi, and Andor, I think we'll get release dates for those three and some quick looks. Not a full trailer, because think about this. It's less than 2 months out now to Book of Boba Fett, and we just got the trailer. So
yeah,
depending on when these release dates are. I mean, like, heck, we don't even know when like release dates are going to be for Bad Batch, Kenobi, and Andor. They could be like, oh, guess what? It's coming in January. I doubt it, but like,
I think they should just... Bad Batch is a little different because
that'll be whatever.
It's a lot easier to produce. So I'm no producer, or I don't work in the film industry, obviously, but I would imagine it's a lot easier to make an animated show remotely if they have to. I know things are somewhat back to normal now and whatnot. It's still the pandemic, but things are back to normal-ish, and they're on film sets and stuff now. But I think they did season 2. I think they created, animated, whatever the term is, season 2 of Bad Batch a little while ago. That's my theory. And
yeah, this past year they've been working on it.
I think that's why the tech arm, Echo arm, the Echo arm, the Go-Go Gadget arm is in all these things. I think that they might have seen footage from season 2 or something, and they're like, "Oh,
I want to see that concept art." It's a total tangent, not to talk about this, but in every single Echo figure, except the Black, including the Black Series one now, because they just released that, he has the crazy like Inspector Gadget, Go-Go Gadget like arm that's like a claw that's like like at the end.
Think about this.
What is that concept art? We've never seen it.
When do costumes in animated shows change?
At seasons.
Yep. So I think season 2 is when Echo has the crazy arm.
Omega
will probably have a new outfit.
I hope. Better.
I hope she has like a Bad Batch outfit. Maybe a little armor and like some sort of cool.
She just needs at least one change of clothes. That is one of my criticisms here is the fact that this little girl like hasn't had a change of clothes, and like did they like make her like take like showers, because I just want to be like, what is like that personal hygiene routine, like, because they're a bunch of dudes.
Gonki's also a washing machine, so they just throw it in there.
That's why he's short circuited, because he has to deal with the Bad Batch's dirty laundry all the time, and it's not that good. Wow. But yeah, I agree.
But before I went on my little weird tangent there, I don't know how that happened, but
you talked about the Bad Batch and I went off. That's how it happened. I'm sorry.
I think Bad Batch season 2 is going to come out the same time as season 1 did, which would be May 4th. So I'm gonna say May. It's gonna come out in May.
I'd like to think as well. Not, that those are the things that like they have like upcoming, and obviously Star Wars Day being May 4th, I think that would make the most sense for them to do it about that time, either to start around that time or even like ending a series at that time. I doubt it though. We don't even know. We might know the amount of episodes for things, but Yeah.
We know how many
But yeah,
episodes Boba is. It's 8, I believe. So
I think I saw somewhere it was 9.
really,
Yeah, I saw a few things about that today, but we'll get more news about that eventually. But yes, the animated shows and the live action shows do get different like release date precedents. Because like obviously think of the comparing to Marvel. While Loki was being released was when What If also I think started also coming out around that same time. So like and like yeah. Anyway,
so yeah,
animated
I
shows.
think we'll get Bad Batch. We'll get animation and live action overlap. So we'll get
Yeah.
maybe at one point we'll get 2 Star Wars shows a week, which will be
Woo!
I won't be able to function.
Woo!
So Book of Boba, if it's 8 or 9 episodes, it'll run to mid to late February, if I
Mhm.
have that math right. So yeah, and then I think after that, it'll be Andor.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Because I feel like that's been done for a while. Or maybe it'll be Bad Batch. I don't know. I really don't know. It's all a guessing game, obviously. But
All I can say is Lucasfilm, and I know you're listening. If you are
yes.
going to be having a panel at Star Wars Celebration next May involving any of these shows, specifically the Bad Batch for me, I would really like to go to it and see it. Those early episodes, like I will,
You know what
I
they
will
should
do
do?
next to anything. Okay.
So,
Would I?
are there any other predictions for Disney Plus Day? Like, do we think there'll be any
Like
other new show announcements?
new
Matt,
content?
to give Matt's input, he told
Yeah,
me he doesn't think there will be. He doesn't
Matt
think they'll
doesn't.
mention anything new, which is a realistic thought. We got to remember this is Star Wars, and we don't often get a lot of information on things.
So let's see. I think that um new new content wise, I think that let me see. I just had like 6 thoughts like happen like at once and my brain is just like trying to like file them through. Um
Give me two, 1 or 2.
give you two. I think that we're going to get more information about Rogue Squadron, the Patty Jenkins upcoming feature, because I think that even though it is like Disney Plus focused, I think that they still will be like, hey, we're going to be making movies and maybe this is going to be, we're going to release it on Disney Plus and in theaters. Because we still don't know what the whole deal is in
I don't
general
think
with
they'll do
movies
that.
right now.
They're not even doing
Um,
that for Marvel shows right now,
but
and
that's
Marvel
Marvel.
movies.
But that's
I guess,
Marvel.
yeah.
And we know that they have similar but different, totally different release patterns and practices. So who knows? I hope that they talk about Rogue Squadron at least a little bit. Um, Otherwise, I'd like to think that they're gonna announce at least one new show. That's all that I hope for is they're gonna at least announce one new show. Like that's the most I can hope for.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's even being hopeful. I think
Yeah,
Matt has the right idea that they probably won't, unfortunately, because they'll be talking about a bunch of other things.
yeah,
And it's not just a Star Wars day. There's going to be
yeah.
Marvel
It's
talk. There's going to
everything.
be
Yeah,
everything talk. National Geo or Nat Geo,
yeah.
all that stuff on Disney Plus.
Geode
But
show about
Geode,
Geode.
Nat Geode. So I think they're gonna either tease or announce another animated show
Ooh,
because Star Wars
yeah,
animation is big, and we only have Bad Batch right now.
right.
And they unveiled that Lucasfilm animation logo with the Bad Batch at the end of the episodes, right?
Yeah,
With
it
the
has
clone
the
helmet,
clone. Love
Phase
him.
1 clone helmet, I
Yep.
believe, which
Yep.
it looks awesome. So yeah, you unleash that cool logo, and I think you got to back it up with some more shows. So I don't know. I've always been behind the idea of a Crimson Dawn animated show and do it
Oh,
that way. Get
set after Solo
yep, or even before.
or before, a bit of
Uh,
both.
no,
You could do it.
after Solo. I
You
like
could do a
that.
Clone Wars style and have the timeline jump around.
No, please no. I mean, I'll take anything. I'll honestly take anything with that
That'd
with
be really
Crimson
cool.
Dawn.
That'd
So
be a lot of fun.
I think we'd get that because you have the voice actors there to do it.
Yep.
Get Amelia Clark to be Kira, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they wouldn't get someone else.
Yeah.
And that's what I think. I can't imagine what any other animation thing would be.
That
I
would
know
be good
Matt.
for the right now.
I think Matt Lanter tweeted something about a while ago, teasing something about he was doing something for animation again.
He
So
could
I don't
be
know what
doing
that would
anything.
be. I don't think they would do more Clone Wars stuff, like Clone Wars Revisited. I don't know. I don't see the point of doing that. I'd enjoy it, but
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
interesting.
I don't know. He's a man of many talents, and so he could be doing anything. But who
Unless he's
knows at
doing
this
like
point?
an unhelmeted Vader show.
I mean, like we have like the one line of just the Ahsoka, and it's like just
True.
hearing like the voice. So it's like, who? We don't know what's gonna happen in Rebels. You know, that's what I'm talking about in case that wasn't clear. But yeah, so like the things that are confirmed to be released next year are obviously the Bad Batch, Kenobi, and Andor. And so I think that from there, hopefully something else gets announced that'll be released like later in the year, and then what we have in 2023 as well. That's why I think at least we're going to get one more show announcement, and then we'll see, because we really have no idea what's happening from there.
My pipe dream, sorry, I blew into the mic there, I got really excited. My pipe dream show that I really want, and I was dumb and I was hoping for it to be announced last year when we were doing our predictions for Investors Day / Disney Plus Day, whatever they want to call it, is the Ben Solo and Luke Academy show, which would take place, you know, when he's Ben Solo before he turns to the dark side. And yeah, I don't think we'll get that for a little bit, and I think that would be an animation, because I don't think you could recast. You could, but I wouldn't want them to recast old Luke, older Luke, Master Luke. So I don't know. And I don't think Adam Driver would want to come back to do it, but who knows?
Yeah, I don't think he'd want to come back to do Baby.
No.
Ben. Post Ben, maybe, but who knows? Yeah. We didn't talk about the Acolyte. I forgot about that. I'm looking forward to news about the Acolyte.
That's probably our number one show we're looking forward to.
Yeah,
but we can't really talk about it because we don't know what it's.
We don't know anything about it. It's the end of the High Republic era, which sign me up. I mean, I've got like 3 High Republic books just like sitting back there. First of all, I love the High Republic, and I would love a show set in the High Republic. That'd be a really fun animated show, just like the comings and goings of that. Even if it is just the comics adapted into like animated form, I'd be like, give it to me, consume it. I will read that story twice. I don't care. But I really am looking forward to the Acolyte as well, because we still have no idea what that's going to be about.
No.
Or like give me a series about Ochi Bestoon. Ochi is fantastic, and everyone needs to know about him. Okay.
He is amazing. But yeah, I mean, I would like to I guess to close up here, I would just like to see like some synopsis things on like a few of these shows.
Yeah, just
like
give me a couple sentences.
The trailers for the ones that we mentioned, Andor, Kenobi, Bad Batch. I think those will happen. And I just want to get a little description of Rogue Squadron. I just want to know when that takes place. People have been like post episode 9, oh, maybe New Republic, oh, maybe it's original Rogue Squadron and the original trilogy or
Give
something.
me a little info so I can put this one to bed and then put it in a drawer and then think about it in like 2 years.
Exactly.
So,
but yeah, just information.
Information. That's like what we're looking for at Disney
Indiana
Plus
Jones,
Day.
Crystal Skull. I need to know.
Maybe they're going to talk about Indiana Jones.
No, Disney Plus Day.
Well, what they did the last time on Disney Plus Day, they randomly announced that they're going to do a Children of Blood and Bone series and the Willow sequel. So, like, I mean,
maybe they'll announce an indie show.
Maybe
a reboot of the Young Indie thing.
Yeah, and they get Sean Patrick Flanery to come back.
He's too old now. He can play someone else.
That'd be great. Anyway, yeah, so this has been our little, we went longer than we wanted to, but it's all good. So this has been the HoloNet Marauders podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to listening to us today talk about Book of Boba Fett and upcoming Disney Plus releases. Next episode is our 50th episode. It is our 1-year anniversary. So it'll be a little bit different than our normal episodes. It'll be just as chaotic as it normally is. And I thank you for keeping up with us so far. You can find us everywhere on social media at HoloNet Marauder. On Twitter, it is no S on there, but otherwise it is at HoloNet Marauders. And thank you so much for listening to the HoloNet Marauders podcast.